Problem solved. Wow, that's all I gotta say for this fight. For Adrian Broner versus Marcos Chino Maidana. Problem solved. Chino karate-sized Adrian Broner's ass for 12 rounds. The only way he capped off that dominating performance was to knock Adrian Broner the fuck out. Credit to Broner for withstanding that onslaught for 12 rounds. My hat goes off to you, Adrian. You are a true champion. I picked Adrian to win. Of course, nobody, is safe in the fight. Of course, one of my famous slogans that I say all the time is that the ring will sort out the facts. And the ring sorted out facts. Chino was the better guy. Chino came to fight. Chino fought. And Chino won and became the new WBA welterweight champion of the world. There's a lot of things that we knew going into the fight. We knew about the skill levels amongst the two men. We knew that Broner's skill level was on another playing field in terms of what they bring skill-wise into the ring, in terms of the speed, defense, head movement, being able to utilize the ring, capitalize on guys' mistakes, counter-punching, punch placement, you name it. Broner was thought by me and most to have a wider array of boxing skills, but to no avail. It didn't matter. Chino had the heart, desire, and the will to win tonight. He felt disrespected by Broner. Broner being brash, talking a lot, telling him he's going to stop him, that he's going to fuck him up. He's saying that on national television for months, even prior to going into training camp. And it got to Chino, and at the end of the day, when you got two good fighters in the ring, somebody's got to take that L. And this is one of those rare instances in boxing where hunger defeated skills, because Chino was not to be denied. He's, props to Robert Garcia. They studied Broner. They studied his vulnerabilities as well as his strengths. They knew what to stay away from and how to combat anything that Broner does, very well in the ring. And Broner had absolutely no answer for that overhand right and that hook. And the thing about that left hook is, I could talk about both of those punches directly. The overhand, Marcos Maidana doesn't throw overhand from way out. Now, it is a wild punch and it is a looping punch, but if you notice where his feet are when he throws it, he's in Broner's chest when he throws that overhand. He ain't throwing it from left field. He's close to him, and the punch comes from an odd-ass angle. That's why Broner couldn't see it. And that left hook, Marcos Maidana puts his head down and throws that left hook. If you look at a guy who throws a punch with his head down like that, common knowledge is that he's going to throw that left hook to the body. So, the left hook, every time it looked like he was about to throw a left hook to the body, he just has a sneaky way of bringing it upstairs, and he could not miss with it. It looked like fucking Duran, man. It looked like Duran the way he was throwing that left hook. And he was just touching Broner up. For the many times I've said Broner don't get hit flushed in the ring when he fights, this was a fight where he got hit flush. He came out, Marcos Maidana that is, he came out, he set the pace, he dictated the way the fight was going to go. He took over the fight from the first ding, and Adrian could never really get into the fight. He could never really get settled. Adrian did not come out. He did not set a jab. He didn't get any respect early. He came out waiting to see what Marcos brought to the table, and it was too late. Marcos had already started throwing those wild shots, and wild shots are some of the hardest shots to prepare for because you just don't know where they're coming from. And the thing about protecting from these wild shots is they're coming from a guy who has power. He hurt Broner early, hurt Broner often early. Broner can never really get settled, and I just don't know where in blue fuck that Mayweather defense was, because Broner abandoned that defense a long time ago. I didn't see that Mayweather shoulder roll till round 8. Broner went from the shoulder roll to the peekaboo defense by Customato, because I didn't see that famous shoulder roll that he's been befuddling fighters with in the past. I did not see that at all. Props to Chino Maidana. He came to the ring. He knew what he had to do. He knew what he was up against. and he handled business. He knew Broner was great at super featherweight. He knew Broner was strong at lightweight, but he also knew Broner had not had enough time to acclimate himself at the weight at welterweight, and there was a good possibility that he was not going to be able to endure a flush shot from a real welterweight, and he was not. He was not able to endure a flush shot, and on top of all that, Broner has not yet carried his power up with him. Now, granted, he took enough power to gain a little respect in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't enough power to do any significant damage. Enough damage to stop Chino in his momentum, to keep Chino off of his ass, in layman's terms. And this is one of those fights where, you know, all the stars are lined up, and Chino knew what to do. He did not come in there. He knew that it was one of those fights that if he happened to let Broner back into the fight after round 6, because he had the fight won up until round 6 easily, and Broner was trying to establish himself, trying to get back into the fight. But Chino knew that it's a good possibility if he don't keep his foot on the gas for the last 6 rounds, that Broner may escape out of there with a victory like he did against Paulie Malignaggi. And credit to Chino, he did not want that to happen. This boy comes from nothing, similar of age from Broner. You know, they both grew up in poverty, but Chino was not to be denied tonight. You know what I'm saying? He's been taking a hard road to get here. He did not have a high-profile promoter for the bulk of his career. He came to the United States as an opponent for Victor Ortiz. He came here with a flashy record as far as the numbers are concerned, but he also came here to lose that night because that was supposed to be a showcase for Victor Ortiz. Credit to Chino, he knew what to do in that fight, and fights after that, he solidified himself as a major player in the 147-pound division, and now he gets to get a big money fight down the road. Now, the thing about Broner that he took for granted is the fact that one of the things that he always says is that there's levels to this shit, like Meek Mill says. You goddamn right, there's levels to this shit. It's called divisions. And you had not acclimated yourself at the weight. You totally act like none of that shit matters to you, that your skills are otherworldly, that you're on another level, that you are the second coming of Floyd Mayweather. And it backfired on you, man. You got to have respect for your opponent. You got to have respect for the sport of boxing. And at the end of the day, your lack of respect for the sport of boxing end up biting you in the ass, and you end up losing your title in front of many, many, many Latino fans. They were just going crazy as the fight took place. My wife hates Adrian Broner, hates him with a passion. She liked Floyd though. She can't stand Broner, and she was like just feeling so sorry for him because he was just taking so many flush shots, nose busted up, jaw broken, will broken. I mean, I doubt if Broner ever be the same fighter he was accustomed to being. Brash, talking shit, acting like he could not be touched, couldn't be touched in sparring, couldn't be touched in the ring. This boy has ate a large piece of humble pie, and I just got nothing but respect. Actually, I got no respect for both of these guys, to be honest, because it take a lot of heart and will to withstand what Broner went through. He didn't quit. He didn't bow out. He didn't go out, take a knee and just give the fight up. He never stopped trying. So for everybody who's talking shit about Broner, that he's a bitch, this, that, and the other, stop that bullshit. Stop that bullshit. Because he displayed what it was like to be a warrior tonight. He could have bowed out easily. He could have took one of those left hooks from Maidana, went down and stayed down. And nobody would have said nothing about that. They would have been like, hey, man, Maidana just knocked out 2 dudes from one of those punches. So, I mean, you're not even accustomed to being at that weight, so they wouldn't even held it against him. But he got up. He never stopped trying. The only thing about it is the Adrian Broner that we were accustomed to seeing, very polished, very skilled, going behind a jab, combinations when they're open, one shot at a time when it's open, counter punch with one shot, making guys miss, making them guys pay, landing flush power shots upstairs and downstairs. That Adrian Broner was nowhere to be found tonight. That shoulder roll was nowhere to be found until late in the fight, to where it was basically ineffective and rendered basically useless in this fight. But the thing that we didn't know going into this fight was, will Adrian Broner Did Adrian Broner take his power up in weight, and could he take flush shots from a real welterweight? Because Paulie Malignaggi could not hit, he couldn't crack an egg. The answer to both of those questions are no. Adrian Broner's power at this weight is ordinary, like Paulie said. I thought maybe Paulie may have been hating or anything like that. And Broner cannot take flush shots from a powerful welterweight at this weight. He just cannot. It's going to take some time. If he's going to stay at this weight, he needs to have some confidence builders, go back to the drawing board, work on some things. And you know what? Have some respect for the sport that you're in. It's been a lot of stars and a lot of guys that weren't stars in this game that then paid the dues for guys like you to come around and make all this money off your talent. You got to have respect. There are levels to this stuff. It's not just being a class ABC and elite fighter. There are divisions for a reason. You just can't jump up to any weight class from 135 to 154, as you say, and think you're going to do damage. A significantly bigger guy is able to make welterweight that cannot make 130. It is a fact. Bigger guys can make the weight in bigger divisions. You were a small guy going to a bigger division thinking that you can dominate like you did in the smaller divisions. You just cannot. A lot of guys cannot. And when you see guys that go up and do that, it should be red flags raised, because it's not impossible, but it's just unlikely. That's why it's only a handful of guys that's been able to successfully pull that shit off. But back to the fight. Props to Chino Maidana, man. He's been on a win streak. This is his third knockout in a row. This wasn't a knockout. This was just a dominating win. But oh man, what a way to cap off the year. What a way to cap off the year. It's a good possibility that Maidana just entered himself into being the fighter of the year by beating Josecito Lopez, beating Jesus Soto Carras, and then beating Adrian Broner. Oh man, it's a great year for him, man. I'm excited, and I picked Broner to win. So that ought to tell you, you know what I'm saying? I just was not expecting this. I thought Adrian Broner would probably face some trouble early, but then adapt. But he never adapted. He tried to adapt, but Marcos Maidana being so awkward and compact and getting close and throwing those wild, powerful shots befuddled him, man. He could never adjust to where those punches were coming from. The way that he normally slip and evade punches with previous fighters, it just did not work in this particular fight, and it just cost Adrian Broner just tremendously, because he can kiss that pay-per-view status goodbye. You will not be a pay-per-view star just yet. I don't even know if you'll even be that. You'll have to come back in a major way in order for people to start spending their money ordering fights to see you fight, because you have been humbled. This is similar to this fight right here. This humbling is similar to Prince Nassim Hamed being humbled by Marco Antonio Barrera. Same thing. Nassim Hamed knocking everything out. Flashy, flamboyant, brash. Talked a lot of shit. Powerful puncher with both hands. Unconventional. Fighting with his hands down. Blazing speed. Big power shots coming from odd angles. And he got in the ring with somebody who was actually polished, and Marco Antonio Broner, and got his ass destroyed. This was the same thing. Adrian Broner, I'm saying it right now, I really don't think this guy will ever be the same fighter again. It's a possibility we may never see this guy back in the ring. His whole shtick, his whole image, his whole way he presents himself has just been absolutely befuddled. Can you actually... Not befuddled, but you know what I mean, has been basically destroyed. I mean, can you see Adrian Broner getting into the ring not being brash now? Can you see him fighting and not talking shit now? I mean, what the hell? What can we actually expect from Adrian Broner now? Seriously. Obviously, he need to go back down and wait. He need to give Chino Maidana his props for beating that ass, because you were not the first one to stop him. You know what I'm saying? And then he needs to eat some humble pie and understand what he came up against. Go back to the drawing board and actually just get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? You have not seen all styles. You know what I'm saying? You compare yourself to Floyd Mayweather Jr., but Mayweather Jr. has seen all styles. He's seen styles that, that you gotta adapt to and stuff like that. But oh man, I don't wanna harp on I don't wanna down Adrian too bad, man, because he got his ass whooped enough for everybody in the hood. Everybody in band camp got their ass whooped with that performance Chino got. I think every last one of them dudes felt that felt that ass whooping. That ass whooping trickled down through the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel bad for the boy, because I mean, through all the shit talking and stuff like that, I didn't wish that on him. But it's part of the game. You're a fighter, dude, and sometimes you gotta get it like that. And he got it just like that. But as far as Maidana, we may just have Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s next opponent, May 3rd, MGM Grand, Las Vegas, a Latino opponent with the world title, coming off a devastating victory over a highly touted three-time world champion, Mayweather Jr. Light, and Adrian Broner. To me, I would love to see Mayweather versus Maidana before I would like to see Floyd Mayweather versus goddamn Amir Khan, who ain't never fought at this weight and struggled against Julio Diaz in his last fight. You know what I'm saying? So now, in my opinion, Maidana just entered into the sweepstakes. He deserves a big fight. He was not touted to win this fight. I'm sure he was not a betting favorite. And he was a favorite amongst all the fighters who were asked who they thought would win. Overwhelmingly, everybody thought Broner would win, and it just did not pan out for him tonight. Props to Maidana. He did his homework. He went to camp, did his road work, did his sparring, paid his dues, and he won big tonight. I have nothing but respect for him. I can't say nothing but good things about him tonight. Also, kudos to Adrian Broner, showing heart, doing what he got to do, trying to win a fight under adversity, under heavy thunder, heavy leather, getting hit way more than he's ever been hit, and fighting back like a true champion and seeing the 12th round. He was hurt many times in this fight. He was hit flush many times in this fight. He touched the canvas many times in this fight. And you know what? It just was not his night. It was Chino's night. But I'm telling you, I can't even break the fight down. I'm so excited. Man, I can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. So you better believe I'm going to be doing my rounds on YouTube, trying to see what you guys got to say about this fight. Great fight, great win. Way to cap off 2013 in a big way. And now I basically can't wait to do my year-end awards on the Fighter of the Year, Trainer of the Year. So that's going to be coming up, not tonight, but probably really soon, next week sometime. And hey, yeah, whatever you got to say, leave it down in the comment section. If you're going to do videos, if I ain't subscribed to you, send it to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been going a long time. I don't even know who in the YouTube boxing community anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm steady seeing new dudes every day. And yeah, man, I just can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. It's your boy Ash. It's your boy Ash. Back on YouTube, ready to hear what you dudes got to say about this fight. Great fight. I'ma holler at you. Leave it. Deuce. Twos.